Hi there, welcome back to Rick on Tesla. So as you can see, it's boiling hot today. I am pretty sweaty, but I thought I'd get this video out there as quick as I could because we have just done our first long trip in the Tesla Model 3. And that was a 326 mile round trip over 2 days to the F1 down at Silverstone. So we went on the Saturday, which was the inaugural sprint race. It was quite exciting and better than the qualifying we were expecting to see. So the journey down to Silverstone on the Saturday morning was largely uneventful until we got really close, and I think people were getting a bit giddy because as I'm coming down here you can see first of all the Tesla pulls out, and then secondly the guy pulls out really late and we had to go into the third lane to avoid him. And coincidentally we ended up parking next to another Tesla on the car park. So once we got into Silverstone we started walking around, and the first thing that we came across was like a little display of police vehicles, and in there was a police Tesla. It was really cool to see a Tesla converted over to police colours, and the detailing was fantastic. If you haven't been to Silverstone, I highly recommend it. There's plenty of stuff to do for kids as well. They had a blast on various rides and other things which are actually free when you get in there. So with general admission you can't go in the stands on a Saturday, so we ended up walking all the way around the Silverstone track, which is a long old way, especially with two kids. But it's great because it keeps you moving and you can see the action from plenty of different viewpoints. We got a really good viewpoint of when Sergio Perez span off and then came back on, almost getting hit by another car as he came back on. And then look how close we are to Lewis Hamilton as he comes round on the F1 parade bus. So we drove down there without needing a charge, and instead of trying to drive all the way back home in the same day, we found a hotel heading back up north in Coventry. So on the way to Coventry I realised that the rugby supercharger wouldn't be too far away and not too far of a detour off our chosen route at all, so we decided to go and stop there as I'd probably sleep a little easier at night knowing that we've got a little bit of juice in the tank, so to speak. This is my first supercharging experience and it was super slick, super easy. There was a little play park there for the kids to have a faff around on, and I was getting a fantastic charge rate of over 500 miles an hour. There's something really cool and futuristic about the Tesla superchargers, you know, seeing all the other Teslas parked up there. It's just really cool to see, especially the first time. I'm sure the novelty will wear off over the coming years, but the first time was absolutely fantastic. So we then made our way to Coventry city centre, where we dumped our bags in the hotel, went for a bite to eat, had a couple of drinks and then crashed out for the night. The next morning we went for a quick look around the Coventry cathedral, which was only a 5-minute walk from our hotel. I'd recommend going and checking it out because they were very welcoming, and they especially welcomed the kids, told them to touch whatever they wanted, make as much noise as they wanted, and that was so refreshing and so different, you know, for a quiet place like a cathedral or a church. It was really good. So then we set off to go back up north. So overnight I checked the Tesla supercharging costs and it was as expected, a big fat zero, which was great. Obviously I'd used a referral link when I'd placed the Tesla order, and I suggest you do the same thing. So given that I had 1,000 supercharger miles and I'd only use I think 73 miles on that first charge, I figured we may as well stop and use a few more of those supercharger miles as well on the way back up, just to save me charging a lot at home. So I ended up stopping off at the Hilton Park and northbound superchargers on the way back, which again was super easy, super simple, and it just took a few miles off the free allowance. With that we were back on the road and heading back home. I used a bit of autopilot on the way just to help with the monotony of the motorway driving. And yeah, we'd made it home having had a thoroughly great time at the F1. So in terms of cost for the whole trip, it was really just the 100% charge that I did at home the night before we went. The supercharging was free both times and will continue to be until I've used my 1,000 supercharger miles. And as petrol prices have just hit an 8-year high, there's never been a better time to be driving around in an electric vehicle, especially a Tesla. I hope you enjoyed that video, and again I'd heartily recommend going to Silverstone if you can for any of the days. It doesn't have to be the big Grand Prix day on the Sunday. The Friday is great, you get to sit in any grandstand. Saturday is good because you can just walk around and enjoy the day, especially now they're doing the sprint races, although I'm not sure if that'll be there next year. And of course it's a great excuse for a road trip in the Tesla. So if you're thinking of ordering your Tesla shortly, please consider using my referral link, and then we'll both get 1,000 supercharger miles and I'll be able to go on more trips like this, film more videos, etc. So that would be greatly appreciated. Alright, see you in the next video.